All right, boys and girls, this is the video that will explain for you how to do this church trifold. If you remember back before we went on this break, we had been learning all about the Holy Spirit and the different symbols in our church that we use with the sacraments to help us receive the Holy Spirit. And so I've got this little activity here for you. The first thing that you're going to do on this is over here on the side, it says name. So you can turn your paper sideways, and if you put your name on that line, that way when you turn this in, I'll know that it's yours and not someone else's. So the next thing that you're going to do, even before you cut out or color anything, over here on the side, we have some words. These words say Jesus, oil, sacraments, and water. And we're going to read this paragraph and we're going to see if we can fit these words into these blanks. Now, some of you may be able to do this on your own, and some of you might want to do it with my help. Either way, I'm going to go through right now and help fill in these blanks. So this first sentence here says, we receive the gift of the Holy Spirit in the blank. Now I want you to think for a moment. Do we receive the gift of the Holy Spirit in the Jesus, in the oil, in the sacraments, or in the water? We receive the gift of the Holy Spirit in the sacraments. If you said sacraments, you're absolutely right. So I'm going to underline this word sacraments so that when I'm writing it, it's easy for me to look over and see the letters. And then on this line, I'm going to write in my best first grade handwriting, sacraments. So that now my paper will say, we receive the gift of the Holy Spirit in the sacraments. Now, if you want to take a moment on your paper, you can go ahead and write out the word sacraments as well. Okay, and you don't have to rush, because the beauty of teaching digitally is if I get ahead of you, you can just hit pause. You don't even have to raise your hand and tell me to slow down. So we've got here, we receive the gift of the Holy Spirit in the sacraments. That's our first sentence. All right, now I know I finished sacraments, so I can cross that one off. The next sentence says, the holy blank is a sign that baptism washed away all sin. Well, let's think. What washes away our sin in baptism? Is it Jesus, oil, or water? If you said water, you're correct. So I'm going to underline water so that I know where to look as I'm writing. And on this second line, I'm going to write the word water. You can go ahead on your paper right now in your best first grade handwriting, and you can write the word water. So now our paper says, we receive the gift of the Holy Spirit in the sacraments. The holy water is a sign that baptism washed away all sins. So now I can cross off water because I've used that word. Our next sentence here says, the holy blank is a sign that confirmation makes our faith stronger. Is it the holy Jesus or the holy oil that is a sign that confirmation makes our faith stronger? I'll let you think for a minute. If you said oil, you're absolutely right. Remember that we learned in confirmation, the bishop or priest puts holy oil on our forehead to confirm our faith. So now that I've put oil on that line, I can cross off oil. Now there's last word and a last line. It's kind of a gimme, but remember, we always read to make sure it makes sense, because sometimes we get to the end and it might not make sense, and then we realize we made a mistake somewhere else. So let's read this last sentence and make sure that the word Jesus fits in there. The Holy Spirit helps us live as followers of Jesus. I think it works. So I'm going to go ahead and underline this word Jesus. And then on the line here, in my best first grade handwriting, I'm going to write the word Jesus. All right, so now our paper says, we received the gift of the Holy Spirit in the sacraments. The holy water is a sign that baptism washed away all sins. The holy oil is a sign that confirmation makes our faith stronger. The Holy Spirit helps us live as followers of Jesus. And our end mark is already there for us, so I can cross off that I used all my words. And now all of my writing is complete. The next thing that I would like you to do, and I'll stop the video so that you can get working on it. You'll take your crayons or colored pencils or markers or whatever you have at home, and you're going to color your church. You can color the cross and the building and the symbols here. We have the dove and the baptismal font and the holy oil and Jesus. Color it in your best coloring, and then you'll cut out on the dotted lines. I will show you a sample that I made right here. I already colored it and cut it out. Got my name on the side, my best handwriting. I colored it in my best coloring. And then when you're finished, you can fold these two sides in like this. And then your church will stand up. Try to let you see it here. Your church will stand up all on its own. So you can put that either on your dresser, maybe on your counter, somewhere in your room, or somewhere where your parents decide is a good spot for you to put that. So go ahead and get working on that, and I can't wait to see the pictures of it when you upload them to your Class Dojo portfolio. We'll talk again soon. Have fun making your churches, boys and girls.